Hi, everybody. It's Aaron Scott here. We're taking a look at the week ahead. This is the week of March 15th. I'm recording this on Sunday, the 14th. We just had our Pisces new moon. So I hope you all are having a great weekend, and I'm wishing you all a really good week ahead. This is your art channeling intuitive select for the week ahead. So I want you to tap into one of these three puffins. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and select my highlighter here. So we can assign perhaps this puffin to number 1, this one here in the center. Let me go ahead and move this up. This one here in the center to number 2, and this one as number 3. But just feel into one of those puffins if you could. Okay. If you need more time to really intuitively connect with one of these three, go ahead and put this video on pause. All right. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the numbers here. Okay. So we're tapping in with the art channeling 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And now let's go ahead and do the reveal. So if you need more time, go ahead and select pause. All right. So let's see what came through. I have to tell you, really very interesting imagery that came through. I'm going to tell you what I was thinking as I was drawing these out. So obviously, some of these weeks I'm doing it kind of live on camera. That's going to come back. In fact, next week I'm going to record it, during the weekend of our equinox. And so that's going to be another live. But this one, I did the channeling and I'm recording it. And we're going to talk it through. All right. So with number 1, I'm going to go ahead and take off my highlighter here so you can just follow the arrow. All right. This line here was the first form to come through on the page. This one was the second. Okay. Then the umbrella came through, the happy face came through, and then the horizon, which came out green, but this is water. In other words, green water. So we're going to talk about the symbology there as well. Now, I haven't studied this yet. When I channel these images when they come through, I'm not analyzing them. I'm really accessing right brain only. So I'm analyzing it live with you here. With regards to the form that came through, see, no color was assigned to either this form happening out in the middle of this image or this one, except for what's coming out at the end of the arrow. And what I get from the colorless activity, because you can see there's a lot of activity here, there's a lot of activity here, it's kind of circular. It reminds me of a boomerang, something coming back around, right? Something coming up and out and then back around, right? And then there's something else. Maybe this event this week is catalyzing something else that comes back around very strongly. But the thing that comes back at you this week, as a result of the good attitude, which we'll talk about in a second, delivers something aligned, something benefic, something that feels good, something that is optimally aligned for you now. Okay? It's like a karmic reward. That's what I'm getting. So, but I have to tell you that what I get from this image, and we'll talk about the details in a second, is that for you to allow and to be neutral to the events going on in your immediate environment, in your family, in your home, in your work environment, in whatever your immediate context is for your life, for you to allow this to happen and for you to allow the larger macrocosmic issues going on the collective scale without judging or identifying, without feeling necessarily wounded or reactive with regards to anything that's going on, that there is this aspect here of neutrality in your perception about what's going on, and that deep down in your unconscious, in some cases, this is going to be right under the surface. Maybe it's in your unconscious level. Perhaps it's very, very deep. Maybe there's this very strong orientation of unconscious positivity that is activated for you, but it's coming from, for some of you, this is coming from years of work, and it's coming from a mindful and disciplined and a choice that you come to make. And the ability, the learned experiential wisdom to really get to this place of positivity and ultimate neutrality from that place of positivity. The positivity, though, is not superficial. This comes from the deep place. This is like the real understanding of the benefic nature of natural systems versus coming from a fear based place. So I have to tell you that I see that there's a level of, for those of you that selected number one or the left hand puffin, I see that there is this kind of internalized positivity and optimism, faith, but faith that comes from a very grounded, knowing place for a lot of you. You can see the smile is yellow. So there's this kind of a desire inside you, a will, a willful decision, a choice that you're making to have a different perspective. And what that means is that the events going on outside, you're able to perceive them neutrally. And by you being neutral to what's happening and not judging it as bad or wrong or it should be different or whatever story that you're making around it, that neutrality is going to end up delivering something of meaning for you, something that is aligned for you now in your life path. Now, we also have the umbrella, and by the way, we also have underneath here in the waters of your being, but the waters of your being are not blue. Specifically, the waters, the inner self here, the inner sanctum of who you are, the foundations of who you are. This is water down here, but specifically, the color that wanted to be brought forward was green. And of course, this is representing the heart chakra. So there's something activated for those of you that selected number one of a natural reorientation to love, not sentimental love. This is like true love, spiritual love, agape. Okay, so there's some state of positivity, love, clarity, decision, owning and grounding your own, grounding your energies and owning your own stuff. It's beautiful. The interesting thing here is that there's an umbrella, and the umbrella is hooked in. The base of the umbrella, the handle is down here in the water. So, and the green water, the heart base, the compassionate, the love oriented water. So there's a hook into that field of love from which you are emanating. But up very tall through all the spinning activity out in the world that you're neutrally assessing or, relating to, there is this red, bright red umbrella canopy. Red is talking about energy. So there's some energy here. It's a protective energy. And I get here that you are feeling very kind of, let's say, self-confident. There's a level here of confidence. There's a level of positivity, but it's also a level of confidence here. And that confidence is allowing you to be in your positive space, in your positive energetics, as well as create the proper energetic boundary, right? So we have energy that you're putting out into the world, but yet it's boundaried. You're creating a level of boundary. So in other words, you're not emanating out this positivity in order for the world to judge it or make it wrong. You are being true to yourself, and you are a bit internally protective of letting your inner be expressed in the external. There's no need to do that for you this week. You're feeling quite stabilized to be internal. And for those of you that watch the astrology for this week in the other weekly, you're understanding that we are in this last week of Pisces. And this is a 12th house process this week. There is still internalized processes playing out this week for you as an individual, but also for the collective. So there is this level of decided and clear and even forceful in some ways boundary that you're creating, a firm no. There's a firm no here. Do you understand? So this is beautiful. I have to say, this is excellent. It's perfect. And you're going to notice that the handle here, it's a little bit hard to see in this image, but the handle is brown, like a medium brown. So this is the color of soil. This is this color of groundedness. This is the color of natural process here. So beautiful, everybody. Absolutely beautiful. Now let's go to number 2. If you selected number 2 or the, I think it was the center puffin, okay? Now this one was quite interesting. Now the first image that came through was this zigzag. So boom, 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 boom. In fact, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 angles and 6 kind of points, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's something here about a, let's say, abrupt action, abrupt change, abrupt shift. There's something that feels like a lightning bolt, perhaps, for you this week. Ultimately, what came through, it's a little bit hard to see the visual here, but this is a shard of glass. Ultimately, the zigzag came through first, the rose came through second, and the shard of glass came through third. So the very first thing, it might be at the top of the week, maybe Monday or Tuesday. It might be that you're going to feel or experience some sort of dramatic shift. Now, for some of you, this could be literal. For some of you watching this video, this could be, for example, an earthquake or a volcanic eruption. Etna has been going off a bit lately, although it does go off quite a bit, but it seems it's been in the news lately. But this can be something climatic, it can be something physical, but it can also be something in your life. Like, for example, it might be that you're laid off this week, or it might be that something occurs with the family. But there's something about, well, I have to tell you, the first number I selected was 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 angular or elbow shapes to this particular lightning bolt. The lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have the number 4, the number 5, and the number 6 here. Now this could relate to fourth house matters. So for some of you, this could be an argument or a break or a severing or some sort of an earthquake, abrupt shift with a family member. Something could happen with your mother. Something could happen with your family or your home. Something with a property. All right. Now, keep in mind, a massive rose bloomed after this event horizon. So this could be, now there's a lot of people these days, a lot of my clients, a lot of people in my personal life as well, have been focused on reorienting their physical home to meet or match some harmonic. In other words, you're wanting to live in a place that feels more resonant. That's happening for a lot of people. It's a collaborative event here, which isn't too unsurprising given that Saturn and Jupiter are transiting Aquarius. So there's many reasons why the kind of the breaking down of the old and a building up of new resonance is really just called, okay? But what I want to say is, because we have the numbers 4, 5, and 6 implicated, for some of you, this is going to impact your fourth house. So issues of home, property, family. Now, it could be that something emerges from the sudden thing that happens. So it could be a sudden communication out of the blue. And the sudden communication can lead you toward something that you're seeking. So it might be property, or it might be a home, or it might be a place. Okay. For others of you, there's some sort of radical action that gets taken with family. And again, it leads to some sort of blossoming. So, could it be, for example, for some of you, you never knew your mother, or you never knew your father, or you've lost touch with a family member, or whatever it was, but some communication might come, and I'm getting some chills with that one. So this is going to apply to some of you. But yeah, there's something that happens that leads you to either a reconciliation with a family member, or a new home and property or a place. Okay. The other number that we have here is 6, which is work. It's also health. Now, I have to tell you, there could be some breakdown with regards to health. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm recording this image with you is because I haven't been feeling very well. Okay. So, it could be that there's something breaking, let's say, with the body system for some of you that will lead to a breakthrough. It could lead to a breakthrough. It could lead to some sort of new blossoming, some sort of new habit or pattern with your health. Now, for others of you, the 6th house is referring to your work. And so, again, there could be a layoff that occurs, which is what I started to mention earlier. And this is going to lead you. First of all, please understand that whatever is happening for you this week, it's correct. We could look at this zigzag to be something of a tower sort of energetic, right? So something collapses, some illusion breaks down. You're needing to confront something that has been an illusion. So either it's with regards to your habit, your health habits, or it's with regards to your work. If the work that you've had is simply not aligned for you, trust me, if you don't choose the alignment to leave that job in order to align your life with what is optimal for you to deliver now, you better believe that life will obligate that breakdown. So if you don't choose it, life will do it for you. So, those of you, for example, getting any kind of a layoff scenario occurring for you this week, celebrate, trust it, because it's necessary, it's needed. Why? Because life doesn't operate wastefully, what life does not operate randomly. Everything is synchronized. Everything is synchronized. Everything that's happening in your life, your internalized processes, your internalized narrative sets are the internal mechanism creating the externalized reality. And so if your higher is ready for you to break open and expand your life path to be maximally aligned now, you better believe that life will break down anything that is not optimally aligned for you. Okay? So there is a blooming. Now you're going to notice that the colors of the rose are both pink and orange. Pink can talk about the heart chakra. So we can have issues of love here. We can have issues too. Maybe it's connected to a feminine figure in your life. This could be connected to a mother. Now, for some of you, this might have to do with something occurring with your mother. Okay? Now, if that is the case, please understand that it's correct. There are aspects correct for her. Her higher knows what it's doing. So, if there is some sort of a sudden, let's say, event horizon with mom, please understand that the blooming that's coming subsequently, whatever that might look like, is correct for her path. Okay? Orange is also here. Orange can talk about education. It can talk about expansion. So there's new information here. There's a new adventure with orange. There's something new and expanded here. So there can be love and expansion. A big blossoming after the breakdown. So everybody, whatever's breaking down for you this week, let it break down. The rose does have 2 filled in green leaves, healthy leaves. So the zigzag ended up kind of, let's say, encapsulating one of the leaves. It's a right hand leaf. Um, I mean, I don't know. The reason why I'm pointing out, by the way, that the two leaves were filled in green is because there's been previous art channelings that have come through where sometimes the leaves are not filled in, and that has meaning. Okay, so these wanted to be filled in. These are healthy leaves. In fact, healthy leaves to a huge and healthy bloom that's multidimensional here. So there's something with the zigzag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And V can represent 5 in Roman numerology. There's a change happening, 5, okay? There's a change happening. There's an abrupt change happening, everybody, with regards to a right ventricle to the heart. A change happening with a right side of the body. The right side of the body implicates the left brain. You know, is there something occurring with regards to a stroke or something else happening on the left brain, which is bringing about some sort of a result for the right side of the body? Again, could this have to do with some family member, a mother or another family member? Could. Now, could this happen to do with you? Yes, of course. This could be you as well. You're going to notice that the last thing that came through here is this glass panel, specifically quote unquote shard of glass was the word, the term, the phrase that came through. This is delicate here. Do you understand? The shard, the glass, the shard, because it's already been broken. And you can see that this shard of glass is kind of encapsulating the body. Do you understand? Like it's almost as if the rose head is the head perhaps of the body, or it's the crown chakra. In some cases, this is the crown chakra. And could it be, and gosh, everybody, I have to tell you. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. I want you to look at this rose like a body. Okay, look at this as, for example, the crown chakra. And look at the stem as your body. And look at where the zigzag is, let's say, impacting the body. For some of you, this is going to have to do with your health. It's time to pay attention. It's time to listen. It's time to become disciplined. It's time to really be gentle because there's a fragility here. The shard of glass is encapsulating the body, including both halves or both spheres of your body. So the body is delicate, it's gentle, it's already broken in some way. There's an aspect of your physicality that is broken, that's gentle, that's already sharp. It's already at a teetering point. What are you not listening to when it comes to your health? For others of you, what are you ignoring as it relates to the patterns of your day, including your daily work? And how is that impacting negatively your health, which is already fragile? Do you understand? This is important. It's important. And I want you to understand that whatever is happening to those of you that are suffering with, let's say, physical manifestations, first of all, understand that your body is you. It's you. So the body is, and everything that's happening within and what you're attracting to the body system is your own narrative set inside your consciousness. As within, so without. So as you have stories, so your body develops or, has issues arise. Those issues are speaking to you. Those are storylines talking to you. So it's time that you start listening to the stuff that's going on because it's telling you, it's giving you information about your stories. Okay. And it's delicate right now. There's something very gentle and delicate about your body system that is asking for you to attend to it. And if the patterns of your day, including the work that you're doing, is negatively impacting your health, Or if your busyness in your day-to-day life is so much so that you're ignoring your body's communication pathways, not good. Not good. Okay. So you're being spoken to. The crown, there's a lot of information trying to hit you in the head when it comes to downloads, revelations, insights about what's going on in your body system. So are you listening? Okay. I'm going to leave it there. Now, number 3. Beautiful. This image is amazing. Okay. Now, this one also has a tree. It's a little bit hard to see in the background, but number 3, the last week or even 2 weeks, tended to have a tree that would arise. So, but this one's kind of in the background. It's faded. The issue with the tree to be drawn was really to show the branch with the owl on it. The owl is in the tree behind the bear. Now, the bear was the first thing to show up here. The bear was the first thing to show up. Okay. So now I want you to understand that the bear is turning his head, his or her. This is actually a female. This is a mother, ultimately. This is a pregnant belly, which ended up coming out at the end. But this is a bear who is turning her head at the camera, looking at you. Now, this is nighttime, and there is a crescent moon. In fact, let me see if I can find my, let me pull my ephemeris here quickly. Hold on just one second. Yeah, I mean, really, the totality of this week, because we just had the new moon, the totality of this week is crescent. This is a sliver of a moon. So, indeed, this week, there is this kind of, I mean, there's a couple of things to say about this image. One is that it's at night. So these two are daytime oriented. This one is at night, or even really ambrosia, that kind of time at night between sunset and the deepest dark of night. So it's kind of the glowing sky here, but it's an evening time setting. And so there's something here about your week ahead with the moon and with the night that has to do with a more internalized process. We also have the owl that showed up, and this is all about, this is a nocturnal animal, and this is your wisdom. Okay, so the depth of your wisdom, your intuitive knowing, this is a main theme for you this week. Now, as it relates to the bear is the one looking at the moon, now looking at you, but the moon is behind the bear. The bear is out in night with the moon there, but the moon is also within the bear. Okay, so bear is with crescent, bear is holding crescent, bear is pregnant. So there's something here now for some of you, you're going to find out that you're pregnant this week. For others of you, this is totally archetypal and symbolic, period. So the moon has everything to do with your inner feminine. It's about the power of you. Bear represents many things. One, strength, power. Bear represents also a cuddly appearance, but something, an animal that can turn fierce and deadly. So there's an aspect, there's a growth edge inherent with the archetype of bear. It is powerful. The archetype of bear is powerful, but there's also a need to manage the energy, manage the emotionality, manage the consistency of how you're using your strength. How are you holding your empowered self or not? How are you lashing out with that power sometimes, and other times you're cuddly and friendly? The bear can indicate that people don't know how to always see you or be with you, because sometimes they see you cuddly and other times they see you as vicious or deadly. So bear comes with, it's a beautiful archetype and one that is inherently potent. but that requires mastery, right? So this is a very cuddly bear, and it's also a mother bear who is connecting with nature here. She herself is reflecting the above. As within, so above, so below. And she's looking at you. Um, it's almost like to say the power is within you. You know, to go within, your wisdom is within. The You hold you within you, your power. She's looking at you, she's talking to you. So your power is within. Nature is your power. Connect with the seasons, understand the cycles, the patterns in life, the archetypal narratives that naturally live in natural systems. Understand your own patterning. Maybe this is a time for you to understand your own story, your own blueprint, your own patterns, your own cycles. Um, there's also something about something birthing within you. It's almost like Bear is saying to you, you are pregnant with something new, a new feminine version of self. Now, there's something else here that I want you to look at, which is this kind of horizon line here. This is just the grass, the darkened grass from the night, okay? Um, so this is the horizon line of the grass, the ground, horizon, and the sky in the background. The horizon line is bisecting Bear's nose, and the nose can represent the ego, your persona, your personality. It's the face that you put out there. So there's something about the borderline of earthbound, practical. It's like the material and the spiritual, the meeting place, the practical. This is the material and the non-material. This is the physical and the non-physical. Where those two things meet in the in-between is where you, as a powerful, feminine, grounded, mastered person, can become the personality or become the persona or become the image of that in between. It's not just left brain and it's not just right brain. It's not just material realities and proof based arguments, and it's not just faith and fantasy. It's the in between where both are merged. There can be this holistic power that you can bring forward this week if you allow yourself to understand that you are just a representation of the macro, micro. Okay. Now, for some of you to understand your natal blueprint is called, you can check my links below. I would recommend ordering it for those who haven't yet. That might be applicable to you. You're naturally guided toward your own inner wisdom here, everybody. Your inner wisdom. The inner wisdom above. This is above the crown chakra of the bear. Very beautiful, this. Some of you will be pregnant. You will either discover you're pregnant this week or you will become pregnant this week. Others of you are pregnant with new realizations, new insights, new value that you're giving your intuitive wisdom, your gut knowing, a remembrance of an ancient wisdom set that you hold, but you're remembering it. You're getting some downloads here. Bear is talking to you. Bear is looking at you. To become the interface of consciousness and the material, both the physical and the non-physical. Okay? Really good, this, everybody. I mean, fascinating imagery, I think, this week. All right? Listen, I send you so much love. We'll leave on the puffins. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I'll see you next week. All right, bye-bye.